Hey guys, Sam from Everything PSP here. Before we get stuck in, a quick disclaimer about the title. I'm sorry if it feels clickbaity, but I was talking to someone on Reddit the other day, and they said this game was boring. I didn't really believe them, so I thought I'd look into it a bit more, and it couldn't be further from the truth. So please bear that in mind as we continue with the review. LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars on the PSP is proof that sometimes simplicity is the key to a great handheld experience. While it's a scaled down version of the console release, this game still delivers fun, humour, and that classic LEGO charm in a way that works perfectly for portable play. Today, we're diving into what makes this one of the best Star Wars games on the PSP. Let's get into it. LEGO Star Wars 3 takes players through the Clone Wars era, following Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and a cast of colourful characters as they battle separatist forces. If you've played a LEGO game before, you'll feel right at home here. The mix of puzzle solving, combat, and humour is just as engaging as ever, and the game does a great job of making sure the experience is optimised for handheld play. Unlike some PSP games that struggle with frame rate issues or clunky controls, this one is smooth and well polished, making it an absolute joy to play. One of the best things about this version is how well it controls on the PSP. The simple, responsive controls make it easy to swap characters, fight droids, and solve puzzles without the need for extra buttons or complex inputs. The game doesn't overwhelm you with mechanics, which makes it perfect for pick up and play sessions. Whether you're slicing through battle droids with a lightsaber or blasting enemies with a clone trooper, everything feels smooth and satisfying. Another highlight of the game is the way it handles co-op mechanics. Even though the PSP version doesn't support local co-op, it still captures the spirit by allowing you to swap between characters seamlessly. This is especially useful when solving puzzles, as different characters have unique abilities that you'll need to use to progress. Jedi characters can use the Force to manipulate objects, while clone troopers can access areas that others can't. Droids have their own special set of tools which they can use to complete minigames. One thing that keeps the game feeling fresh is the variety of locations and gameplay mechanics. You'll travel across familiar Clone Wars era planets, each with their own unique challenges. Some missions have you fighting on the ground, while others throw you into space battles. The mix of different gameplay elements prevents things from ever feeling too stale. Even the space battles, while simplified compared to the console versions, still add an extra layer of fun. They feature dogfighting mechanics that are easy to pick up, and while they aren't as deep as something like Battlefront 2, they provide a nice change of pace from the usual ground missions. As with any LEGO game, replayability is a big focus. While you can complete the story mode in a straight shot, the real fun comes from going back in free play mode. Some areas are locked off until you return with the right character, encouraging you to replay levels and collect all the hidden extras. And speaking of extras, there's a shop where you can unlock additional characters, making it even more fun to experiment with different playstyles. Some of these unlockable characters are deep cuts from the Star Wars universe, including bounty hunters, Sith Lords, and clone troopers with unique abilities. If you're a completionist, you're going to have a great time hunting for all the collectibles and unlocking everything the game has to offer. A standout feature of LEGO Star Wars 3 is the character customizer. You can mix and match different parts to create your own custom Jedi, bounty hunter, or even a weird hybrid droid Sith abomination, if that's your thing. It's a fun addition that adds a personal touch to the experience and makes replays even more entertaining. This feature, while not as deep as later LEGO games, still provides enough variety to let you experiment with different combinations. It's especially fun to create ridiculous characters and then take them into levels, adding an extra layer of humour to an already charming game. Now, if you've played LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, on PSP, this game is going to feel very familiar. The gameplay formula is nearly identical, but that's not a bad thing. It just means that if you love the previous LEGO Star Wars games, you'll have a great time here. And don't worry, we will be covering LEGO Star Wars 2 in our next video, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. While LEGO Star Wars 3 does improve on some mechanics, such as adding more varied mission types and refining the combat, it's still very much in line with what you'd expect from a LEGO game. If you're a fan of the formula, you're going to love it. If you weren't a fan before, this game probably won't change your mind. Overall, LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars on PSP is easily one of the best Star Wars games on the system. It's accessible, fun, and packed with replayability, thanks to collectibles, unlockables, and free play mode. While it's a smaller version of the console release, it still delivers everything you'd want from a LEGO Star Wars experience. The graphics, while simplified for the PSP, still look great for the hardware, and the performance is solid throughout. Sure, Some of the larger scale battles don't have the same level of detail as their console counterparts, but the core gameplay loop is so enjoyable that it more than makes up for it. So, what do you think? Did you play LEGO Star Wars 3 on PSP back in the day? Or is this one you're just discovering now? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the series, where we'll be taking a look at LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.